All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of your Footy Fantasy podcast show. Um, Today is, I don't know what I'll call it, a sad day. Well, it's a good day for some, but for most of us, football fans, it's really a sad day. Um, Coming out of the pandemic and coming into this kind of stuff where we've all suffered both as fans and as people to now meet this kind of another set of insecurity. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening with our game. To cut it short, it looks like there will be no Champions League next season. I don't even know if there will be a Premier League next season. I don't know if there will be a Football League next season. The ramifications of this is bigger than just announcing that there will be a Super League. FIFA is opposing this, UEFA is opposing this, the FA is opposing this, the EPL is opposing this, the EFL is opposing this. I'm waiting for FIFPro, the players, to make a comment, but there's a chance that they will oppose this as well. This might end up in court. So that is the background we're coming from, where we don't even know who's going to win. We don't know who has the power, but that aside, that I think is an argument for the lawyers to worry about. We want to find out how we, the fans, feel. Fortunately and unfortunately, I'll say the four of us here, Ola, a Liverpool fan, Bola, another Liverpool fan, and Jola and myself, who are Man United fans, we're in the thick of this because our clubs are the main protagonists of this war. Basically, Ed Woodward and the Glazers, in conjunction with John Henry of Liverpool, Agnelli of Juventus, and a few others, Levy of Spurs, and guys at Arsenal, all came together to cut the neck of our league. Like Podence said something very true. He said, you can't replace the music, you can't replace the song, you can't replace the dreams. That's what he said, and that's how I feel. So that's just the way a shot of my mind, because my mind is really muddled. Like if I start talking, I'll talk forever. So, Ola, I'll let you come in. What do you think?
All right. I'm just smiling at some of the comments I'm seeing on the side here. Obviously, I can see some people are saying we have been too dramatic, that we are behaving as if somebody has died. Like that we have been too melodramatic, that we're acting as if, come on, look, that we all still watch it when Super League starts. That at the end of the day, last we go still watch them. I'm just reading the comments, and I can say categorically that your sentiments, Buchi, are sentiments I share, but there actually is a sizable percentage of fans who think this is not bad. To be honest, I've gone on Liverpool group. Bola would have gone on the LFC America group and seen all kind of arguments we've been having with fellow Liverpool fans who think there's nothing wrong with this. A big percentage, but there's a sizable percentage of people who think we're overreacting here. Oh well, it's you guys will watch it at the end of the day. It's good for football, and I'm trying to see their point of view, because okay, as humans, our natural instinct is to change. Many humans, when something has been in place for a long time, if they say, okay, let's change it, the natural human instinct is, maybe we should leave it as it is. So I always try to, when the change is coming, I try to see, okay, what does this bring? Now, in my opinion, this particular change is not bringing anything. We, the fans, are the ones that will suffer it the most. That's what I'm saying today, that for me, about morality. I'm not saying, yeah.
I think it's
it's not going to change anything for the better. It's changing anything for the better. That's it. It's always going to be, okay, where do we draw the line? If these clubs do this now, where do we draw the line? What's to stop maybe 5-10 years? Another set of clubs say, we're not making enough money from that Super League. We want to break away again and set up another one. Where do we draw? Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? As fans, we'll be the ones that will suffer it. Because let me tell you, I was explaining in Ireland there, if I want to watch all the football games, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, the La Liga, I have to subscribe to like 4 different TV suppliers, 4 different ones. So imagine how much if you want to watch all those games. Now, if Super League is coming, I'm sure they're going to sell the TV rights to another company. You have to stump up more cash because you want to watch Super League too. So, as far as we're going to be the ones suffering it, all these people that are saying, it's natural. At the end of the day, we the fans, it will filter down to us. We'll suffer the rich get there. So I'll just round up for now.
Yeah, we'll come to. There are a lot of comments coming in. We'll get to these comments because a lot of them some of them are just trolling us. Like someone said, well, looking like we died, like someone died. I mean, another person told us to please smile, and then another said, there you go, smile a little. But we'll get back to these comments because there are a lot of them, and they're all just, some of them are trolling us, some of them are asking questions, which we'll get to. I want to hear from you, Kwame. Tell me your own, and don't go, oh my God, because I know your head is about to bust, but try and put your head together. Don't bust it yet. Don't bust it.
I'll try. I'll really try. So between yesterday and today, a lot of things have been running through my head. And because I know that I'm very dramatic, ain't nobody gonna tell me that. But because I know I'm very dramatic, I tried to compose myself. I read a lot of things, a lot of news articles about the Super League. I read people's comments, and I tried to sleep on it. I actually literally slept on it, thought about it before going to sleep, woke up this morning, consumed more news, thought about it even more. And I feel the exact same way as I felt yesterday. You see, for about 20 years now, the soul of football has been in a coma. For about 20 years now, since we've let the billionaires take over the game, the soul of football has been in a coma. Yesterday, 12 clubs pulled the life support from the soul of football, and the soul officially died. And the problem here is this, right? It's not even about like football is dead and buried. It's not even 6 feet under, it's 12 feet under. We don't have 6 pallbearers, we have 12 pallbearers. And what these clubs have done is use the only strength they have left, the only power they have left, not on the pitch. No. Because I tell you right now, the power of Manchester United does not reside on the pitch, it resides in the bank. The power of Arsenal Football Club does not reside on the pitch, it resides in the bank, right? And they've used the sole power they have. They've used it to set up this hedge, this protective hedge around the monopoly, right? And they've used that to make themselves more relevant on the European scene. When last did Arsenal become relevant in Europe? When last did Manchester United become relevant in Europe? When last did AC Milan or Inter Milan when were they relevant in Europe last? Right? So because they have gone, they've almost gone into oblivion on the European scene. They've decided to use their money to buy back that relevance. The problem I have with the European Super League is this, right? Ola was talking about how sometimes some of us are not very we don't like change. And I thought about that yesterday. I was like, is it that maybe I don't like change? And I'm cool with change. My problem is what does the change amount to? What does it bring? This change, the only thing it brings is the lack of competition. It stifles competition. It has taken competition by the throat and strangled it to death. That is what this change brings. We're cool with changes to the Champions League. We're cool to changes to the structure and the institutions behind football. But what we know is that the competition in football should not be stifled. What we know is that it is good for the game when a Leicester City can win the Premier League. What we know that it's good for the game when an Aston Villa can compete with Manchester United. What we know that is that it is good for the game when Leipzig, when Borussia Dortmund can depend on the football they play in the training ground and depend on that to succeed at the European scale, at the European scene. Not the money in the bank, not the financing with JP Morgan. I've never seen a bag of money play football. The only reason Tottenham are in this conversation is because they have a brand new stadium.
They're in London.
Let me tell you something. Look, I've never seen a stadium play football. I have seen football played in a stadium. The stadium by itself does not play the game.
I've seen football played in the park.
I've seen football played in the park. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. I don't want to hold this up too much because we're still going to talk more about it. The last thing I want to say is this, right? What they're doing, what I foresee going forward, apart from the whole litigation issue, I mean, let's leave that to the lawyers and the courts. What's going to happen is this. Football is going to become a sport of the elite, just like Formula One. I don't know if anybody here watches Formula One. Formula One is an expensive sport. Every Formula One driver that has ever driven in Formula One, they started with go-karting. Go-karting is expensive. It is very expensive, right? And that is why Formula One is on a different scale. That's why they race all over the world. That's why it's expensive to get any Formula One ticket and go to any game, any race, especially in Monaco. We know that Formula One is a sport for the rich, and we just put them to the side. Football has never been like that. Football has always been a sport where if you can show your skill in the park, if you can show your skill on the training ground, your father does not have to be rich for you to be good. And that is what these people are taking away from this game. The everyday regular skilled footballer will not be able to compete anymore. The everyday club that is dependent on £5 tickets will not be able to compete anymore.
I think the £5 ticket clubs have stopped competing for a long time. That's just putting some perspective on that.
It's going to get worse.
No, of course it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, definitely. But, I just want to add a little bit from what both of you have said and throw it on to Bola, because you said something about money, Kwame, and then Ola said something about, change and how we're not used to it. But that money thing and change thing actually creates some other problems, which I want you to talk about, Bola, after you talk about your own views on this. I want to add the extra thing about, let's talk about the fact that the Premier League just signed like a $5 billion deal like 2 years ago that they still owe for. Remember last year they were paying back some of the money because they couldn't play games. So I wonder how that is going to, work out now. The same thing with Heineken that signed a new deal or whatever that sponsors the Champions League. Because there are people out there that also have money involved in the leagues already established that will sue for all that money they can get. So, Bola, I want you to give me your own views and then take on that.
So, I'm disgusted. This is absolutely ridiculous on every single level. All this is a simple money grab from people that can't understand that football is a global game based upon communities that have been established for over hundreds of years. The whole pyramid, the whole idea of the pyramid is that everyone has an opportunity to play. Everyone has an opportunity to participate. Regardless of where you are in the country, there's a local club. You can play on Sunday if you want to. If you're good enough, you may be able to promote yourself into playing on Saturdays and Fridays. But there's a local club where you can develop your talent and you can be seen. By the formation of these super clubs and the disestablishment of the organizations that we have in place, it's going to lead to many of these local clubs folding. The pyramid structure as it exists will go away. We'll have effectively what we have in the United States, which is the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB. No one wants that nonsense, right? I'm hearing reports from the owners saying that they just can't get their heads around the relegation structure. That's a problem. The real problem is that you got people here, you got teams like Aston Villa and Leicester who are threatening the structure of the Big Six.
Yeah.
and these owners cannot handle it.
Right.
That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
I have no problem with restructuring the Champions League, making it into a better tournament where we're playing less games. I have no problem whatsoever with that. But what I do have a problem with was the lack of meritocracy.
Yes.
By the removal of everyone so that there's no relegation, you're guaranteed a place in this league year in, year out, and breaking down what is going to happen is going to break down the local leagues, not just in England, but it's going to happen in Italy. The Spanish league is already done. Eventually, the German league will fold, the Italian league, so on and so forth. This is going to have a ripple-on effect across the whole of Europe. It's a problem, and it's all because of greed. The Premier League literally just blocked Newcastle from getting their billionaire owner because the Big Six were upset with it.
Yeah.
The Big Six are the ones that were forcing the changes on UEFA to change the Champions League to make it into this new format that I don't think anybody likes. And then they're going to go and bounce.
Right.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And what this is, it's a money grab so you can grab more money. What they realized during this pandemic is that, you know what, we can survive without the fans. But
I want to put this money grab in perspective quickly, right? Manchester United, £600 million averagely revenue a year, compared to Southampton. If they clear £90 million of revenue, they'll be glad. That's the difference. And these guys who are making 600, 700 million pounds a year are telling you they don't have enough money. That's what they're saying. They don't have enough money.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting that in perspective. I'm not saying they do. I'm not the accountant, but I just want to put it in perspective.
Meanwhile, I was trolling the other day talking about who's in the $4 trillion was it $4 trillion or $4 billion bracket, right? It was Manchester United, it was Liverpool, even Arsenal self were in like the top 8 clubs, in the world. Like, these are $1 trillion organizations. These people aren't struggling for money.
No, they're not.
They have their TV money. We've always known that the TV money is the greatest revenue generator for these clubs. Right now, the fans are just addition. And what they're realizing is that, you know what? I actually don't need to keep playing in Liverpool anymore. Let me have Liverpool versus Manchester United in New York City.
Yep.
Let me have Real Madrid versus Arsenal in Qatar. Let me do whatever, because these boundaries don't matter. And they're disrespecting the whole premise of what the football community has come and what has been developed from the ground up. And you can't do that. You absolutely can't do that. And yeah, my club will benefit. My club will absolutely benefit from this, and it's wrong. And as a Liverpool fan, I'm proud to say I'm wrong. And contrary to what Ola is saying, I haven't seen anyone that likes it other than Liverpool fans in the United States group. And I'll deal with them later. But I haven't seen anyone that's happy with it. And it's literally the Americanization and the capitalization of this beautiful game that we love. It's destroying the whole thing.
That's right. And where it even gets funnier is that I don't know if you guys remember this, but they warned us about this last year. There was a leak in the summer. When it leaked, it was John Henry, not Ed Woodward. Remember the summer league where they wanted to revamp the whole football league from Premier League all the way down, 18 clubs in the Premier League, give the original 6 or 8 clubs that have been in the Premier League, give them like grandfather debt, give them a grandfather status where they can never be relegated, and then so that they can then give more money to the football league. Everybody looked at it like a power grab, and then John Henry pulled back. I remember John Henry was like, okay. And then, but nobody knew that was just a teaser. They were just telling us, okay, you don't like that, bro? Check out what we're about to do next. Because the way it looks is, it's like Arsenal.
That's where it's going.
Spurs, Chelsea. From what I heard, Man City and Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea refused originally, but when they realized that those clubs are pulling out of the Premier League, they're like, no, this is no Premier League. I had the Burnley manager, what's his name, Sean Dyche. He said, look, we should be careful what we're doing because we can't kick out the best 6 clubs from the Premier League. We don't have a Premier League. So we have to try and sort this out It's not my job to do that. That's what he said. But I can't imagine the Premier League without the best 6 clubs. So these guys know they have all the power. Because the Champions League we're talking about, what is a Champions League without Real Madrid, Juventus, AC Milan, Barcelona, Man United, and they will drag others with them. If they succeed the first year and money starts coming in, Bayern is coming. Bayern is coming along. So I don't know how we stop this. It's just hard to, I can't find my words, because if I really start speaking, I will cuss out, and I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to. Let's run through some comments. I'll start with the latest comment. It just sums up everything for us. It goes, there are economical impacts to this: labor laws, jobs, social dynamics to the communities, laws that will be passed to block this. Laws will be passed to block this for sure. Well, I would have agreed, but then I realized that the Premier League
Project Big Picture.
Project Big Picture, yeah.
Project Big Picture.
Yes, Project Big Picture. That's right.
Yeah.
That was the name. So let's run through some comments quickly, and then we'll come back. Viewers, if you have questions, you can drop this. Like Johanna has just been trolling us. He went no Champions League this year. The teams affected have been very quiet. Last, you all watch it. He's basically telling us. And then, of course, the guy that says we're acting like someone died and told us to all smile. And then when we smile, he then said, "Oh, there you go, you're smiling a little." Another interesting stuff was when someone said that, and I believe that was Dada. Dada said that it was the same billionaires and money gave us great gains. And I want to address that.
I want to address that point.
Please do.
I saw that, and I didn't want to disrupt whoever was talking. Okay. See, the problem with that is this. Yeah, that is true in the case of Chelsea, right? That is true. I mean, no. This we're not trolling anybody here. It's a fact. Right. That is true in the case of Chelsea. Tottenham hasn't won anything, but if the point I'm trying to make is this: if the big clubs 30 years ago had something like this, you would never hear of Chelsea Football Club. They would have never won the Champions League. If they did something like this 40 years ago, if they did something 40, Tottenham would be nowhere. Manchester City would
never
be neighbors and nothing else. So and what we're trying to say is, well, listen, we're not us, all 4 of us, and every other person that feels the way we do. We're not oblivious to the importance of money in the game, right? We're not sitting here blind to the fact that money rules everything. We all, like money. I've not met somebody who doesn't like money. Okay? We do whatever jobs we do.
Maybe we address.
We get paid appropriately for it, right? And if we're not, we're looking for another job. We get it done, right? At some point, we still have to preserve the very idea, the very soul, the very purpose.
We address.
Yeah?
Is competition.
Yeah, let's address the comments.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. Ola? I think Ola is breaking up. Ola, can you re-enter the... Go out and re-enter. Go out and come back in.
So essentially my point is this. Why is it that the same billionaires who, I guess, gave us money and gave us great games, why are they now trying to stop the continuation of the great games? Why are they now trying to stop the continuation of the competition that allowed them to come in the first place? It's like you enter a door and then you close it for everybody else to prevent.
These are not the guys that give us great games.
And these are not, that statement is not even true for every club. There are clubs that actually got to where they are with legit graft, right? There are clubs that got to where they are with actual hard work, not the money from a sugar daddy from Russia. not the money from a sugar daddy from Abu Dhabi, right? I mean, and as much as we want to talk about these sugar daddies, I mean, whatever, that's cool. Money is money. But why do you need to go a step further, right? And stifle and strangle the have-nots to death? And I want to make another point here, which is actually, you know what? I want to give somebody else a chance to address to say something else, because
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand why some people look. I'm wary of this fact. Yesterday, when Gary Neville, now I like Gary Neville and I like how the passion they showed. Carragher too, I like the passion they showed. But let us be wary of being over dramatic on this. Okay, look, for me, this was coming. This was always coming. And I saw an article by Wenger 11 years ago. It said, look, in 10 years' time, we're going to have this Super League. It was coming. So for me, it's not the fact that the Super League has arrived is a problem. So like all these guys that are saying in the comments, you guys will watch it last. This is good for the game. Yes, okay, you have a point. I'll probably watch it because maybe if Liverpool is playing Barcelona, I want to watch Liverpool-Barcelona. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'll say, okay, I want to watch Liverpool-Barcelona. I want to watch Liverpool-Madrid. The Super League was coming. The issue I have is the fact that they are making it like a closed league. So now they're like only 15 teams guaranteed entry every year, no matter how badly they perform in the other leagues. That for me is a no-no. It's a no-no. You can't turn it into like the American model where the competitiveness will reduce when you do things like that, because you are restricting it to only maybe 5 new teams joining every year. And those 5 new teams have different criteria for you to allow them in. And then 15 teams are guaranteed. So no matter how terrible they do in their normal leagues, they are guaranteed to be in that league. That is what I'm not on board with that. Because that strangulates the game. It's just terrible. Because people are saying, Premier League was also a breakaway league. It's true. Premier League broke away from the Football League in 1992. But Premier League involved promotion and relegations. It was not a closed league. Promotion and relegations were allowed. That's why some teams that started Premier League 1992 are no longer in the Premier League. They've been relegated and they've not come back. Now you're telling me that this is the same as the European Super League. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. So, and also another fact is, you're saying now that, okay, you're going to do this. God. Okay, we're going to do this. You're saying UEFA. I know the point some people are making that UEFA have not done well. UEFA have not done this. Jola, I think, or Bola mentioned it already. UEFA have been bending over backwards for these big clubs in recent years. They've been expanding the Champions League because these big clubs keep saying, do this for us, do this for us. UEFA have been bending backwards, making concessions for these big clubs. But these big clubs keep getting greedy. They keep getting greedy. They say, and now you're blaming, people want to be blaming UEFA. What do you want UEFA to do? Do you want UEFA to just hand over control to 15 clubs and let like hundreds of other clubs in Europe die? What people should look at the bigger picture. Oh yeah, okay, we want to watch good football. Yeah, we want to watch Madrid versus Barcelona, Madrid versus Milan. Okay, yeah, but what about the smaller clubs? What will happen to those? Those ones will just die off. We don't need to bother with them anymore. That's my main point. So it's not about being dramatic. It's about looking at the bigger picture, the long-term effects.
There's a difference between the American system and this system. The NFL system, basically, people are trying to work this thing backwards. NFL came after college football and college sports. It's like, basically, what I'm trying to say is that the college system was already set up. The school system, the pyramid had already been set up. You go from, in American sports, you go from elementary to high school to college, and then you go pro. That's how this is set up in all the sports. There's nothing like that in this. It's not like, they're going to convert the whole of Europe into school sports, and then when you get to 17 or 18, you go into the Super League, which is not even possible because there are only 15 teams. There are over 92 clubs in the English Football League alone. How do 15 clubs replace the LI of Europe across the entire league?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me bring up this one point, man. And I'm not trying to troll. I'm not trying to be funny. But let's actually have a conversation about this. Why is Arsenal in here? Like, why?
Thank you.
What has
Spurs.
Arsenal
Or
Thank
and
you.
Tottenham done to deserve to be in this thing?
Thank you.
What have they done? Why is Aston Villa not there? They've won it 2 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest has won it 2 times.
Right.
Aston Villa has won it 2 times. What is Arsenal doing there? They're languishing in 10th position right now.
And the names on the screen. Villa.
Even Spurs. What's Spurs doing there?
Red Star Belgrade, Savannah Zvezda, whatever they're called. Why aren't they there? You know, why are these teams there? Why is Stan MF Kroenke doing there? What is Kroenke doing there? It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no checks and balances, and watch what's going to happen, right? After all of these leagues are destroyed and the Super League is the only thing standing, oh, you know what? Let's have a salary cap. More excuses for the owners not to spend any type of money. Oh, you know what? Let's have non-guaranteed contracts anymore. More excuses for the owners. Because this is what I'm comfortable with. This is the racket that I'm running here in America. You know, it's the same stuff that's going. It's the stuff that people are trying to get away from in the NFL, right? That these folks are trying to now put back here, you know, and it's a money grab, and there's absolutely no checks and balances whatsoever.
No checks and balances.
I apologize for going hard on Arsenal because, you know, I'm a
no. Go on, Spurs.
Bro,
I live in
Spurs.
What
What about
America,
Spurs?
I'm a North Londoner, and Arsenal have absolutely no right to be there whatsoever. You know,
That's right.
And you know what, Arsene Wenger, if we're going to talk about Arsene Wenger predicted this like all I said 10 years ago. He knew the writing was on the wall.
Listen. The only thing super about Arsenal are their ticket prices.
Fact.
They have the highest ticket prices across Europe, right? And they're languishing in 10th position. The only thing super about Tottenham Hotspur is their stadium because they spend super money to build that thing. Right, and the one thing I want to point out as well is that with this Super League, they talk about we'll bring the elite European clubs together. The beautiful thing about a Real Madrid versus Manchester City game is that it doesn't happen every year. That there's no guarantee that you'll find this like pleasurable game to watch every year. That's why we look forward to it so much. That's why we tune in every time we see PSG versus Bayern Munich, because we know that, you know what, we're not guaranteed to see this next year. So
that's right.
So why how this is good for the fans, I will never understand. And any fan who thinks this is good for the fans, I don't understand it. And I have a coworker who is a Detroit Lions fan. I don't watch the NFL. I don't know a lot about the NFL. And he was telling, even before this Super League thing was a conversation, he was complaining to me a month ago. We're talking on Teams, and he said he's a Detroit Lions fan, and that the Ford family bought the Detroit Lions in 1957. Before the Ford family bought the Detroit Lions in 1957, the Detroit Lions had won the NFL, I think, like 3 seasons before then, back to back. Since then, they have not won they have only won one playoff game since 1957. And my question to him was this: why are they still in the league? Because again, I don't know much about NFL. It's like because they are guaranteed a certain amount of payment every year, regardless of their performance. There's no relegation, there is no promotion, there is nothing. And this is what Manchester United is going to become. This is what Liverpool could become. This is what all this, because let me tell you something. When these clubs, when they sign on to this European Super League, when they put their hands up and say we want to participate, right? That guaranteed 450 million euros or however much money they get just because they enter the competition. Do you think that money is going back into the club? No, it's not going back to your club. It's not going. You think they'll take that money and spend it to improve the club itself? Absolutely not. It is going straight back into dividend.
I mean, we're all Liverpool and United fans here, thankfully. How much did Liverpool spend after they won the Champions League and the Premier League? How much new money did they put in?
We were begging them, Bucci. We were begging our owners to sign defenders in January.
That's right.
January.
Imagine.
And they spent. Do you know how much they spent? 1.5 million on two
That's
players.
right.
On Kaba.
1.5 million on 2 players.
My bad.
After winning Champions
right.
League. After winning Champions League and Premier League.
After winning Champions League.
They sat on their ass, and it was only last minute on the final day of the transfer window. That's when the owners said, okay, let's bring in 2 players for 1.5 million.
After you guys had a bad loss. Yes.
Exactly. So that's the truth.
It's been 16 years. 6 years. If I'm correct, yeah. 16 years since the Glazers came to United.
Mhm.
And look at it. They haven't added 1 penny with a hole. But guess what has left the club? Almost $1 billion. This is not for the fans.
Wow.
This is to settle their pockets. There's a comment.
I was just gonna say United. We guys used to be like the greatest rivals. Liverpool, Manchester United, the biggest rival. We're no longer rivals no more. We're co-franchise owners. Wrap it up.
Get ready for the Interclassico. Now to be Man United versus Juventus, Liverpool versus Bayern or something. That'll be your Classico every week.
We're all the same team. We're never going to lose.
Look at this comment. It's for you directly. Mbola is for you.
Go ahead.
He says, Mbola, since you're not getting this so well, the composition of everybody talking right now is lopsided. No one is talking anything good about this Super League. This is about shouting and criticizing this Super League. And no one is arguing for it. The analysis is one-sided. Okay.
I did.
This anonymous user is clearly. Go ahead.
Okay.
Facebook is blocking the
some of them. Yeah. This is what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid this because people will say, okay, you guys are so emotional and you're not trying to see the other side. That's why if they listen from the beginning, I was saying, look, change is inevitable. This was coming. I don't have issues with this Super League coming. It's the way they've set it up at the moment. It's a big problem. It's a big problem because the repercussions are long term and it's going to reduce competitiveness. And see what you guys are saying. Like Jola said, the appeal of watching maybe Bayern versus Man United was that you knew that maybe you see this match maybe only once in every 5 years. So that excitement will be there. But if you are seeing this kind of games twice a week, every season, the appeal goes away. It's not going to be like fun. People are just saying, you're going to watch it last. You're going to watch it last. Okay, you're saying we should try and state the good sides of it. Okay, what do we start with? The good side is each of these clubs are getting 3.5 billion. Okay, is that coming down to us, the fans? Is any of that money coming to us, the fans? Would it reduce the ticket prices to our club? Will it come from the owners to the fans? Would they reduce ticket prices? Would television provider? Because somebody was telling me, I go and get IPTV. Do you think it's legal for me to get it here? If I do it here, if they catch me, would I enter trouble? You think everybody just likes to do live streaming and be doing cheap? That sometimes you just want to chill and watch a good match on your TV. You don't want to watch on the internet. And if you want to watch it on TV, you don't want something that connection will be going off on your internet. Yeah. You want to watch it on your TV. They're telling me, go and get cheap, go and find this one, go and find that one. As a fan, I should have a right to watch something, watch it comfortably, and without having to pay through my nose for it. And you're telling me that we should be talking about the good. What good is this Super League bringing to football? What good? I'm struggling to find what good it's bringing.
Listen, in my line of work, I have to see the two sides of everything, right? And when I tell you that I swear to God, I sat down on this issue and tried to think about the good parts of it, right? And the good side that I thought about was that, okay, since we know how corrupt FIFA is, we know how corrupt UEFA has been, right? Maybe finally, we will have these clubs to kind of counterbalance the corruption going on in FIFA and UEFA. This is just, I was just trying to rationalize this in my head. But then I remember the saying that says, when two elephants fight, it's the ground that suffers, right?
Of course.
When UEFA is fighting, when FIFA is fighting, when all these FAs are fighting, and the 15 biggest clubs in the world, who's suffering from it? Us.
Fans.
Mhm.
Us,
Fans.
the fans, were the ones suffering, right? And maybe the players too, because imagine a player that cannot play for their country. Because why? Because Manchester United is doing a madness, right? Now Rashford can't play for England anymore. Or because Chelsea is doing a bro, Chucky, you know what? Let me say something, Chucky, right? The problem we're having with I understand the issue, and I feel like Chucky should have been in this forum, right?
He was supposed to be here.
Because the thing is, I don't like when arguments are made just for the sake of being a contrarian. I don't like when arguments are made just for the sake of presenting both sides. Yes, we have to look at both sides. Yes, we have to face the reality that money has been infiltrating our game for a long time. Yes, we have to face the reality that right now I'm paying for YouTube TV so I can watch NBCSN. I'm paying for Peacock so I can watch Premier League as well because they've divided the two. I'm paying for Paramount/CBS All Access to watch Champions League and Europa League, and you pay for ESPN Plus to watch FA Cup. Right?
Oh, you forgot.
We're already doing that. We're already doing that.
I have to pay for being to watch
the Italian league. Exactly.
Or
I don't
Liga,
pay for that. I just watch the highlights on YouTube because I ain't got that money like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Chucky, our problem is where does it stop? That's our problem. Where does it stop? Listen, I'm cool with paying for these services, right? That's fine.
I'm not cool though. I'm not cool with paying for this service.
No.
Let me tell you, Jola,
I'm saying is this.
I understand what you're saying, Jola. Sorry to butt in because Chucky is saying what many people are saying, which for me, that mentality this is not being personal. That kind of mentality is warped. You say, okay, you guys are suffering already, so why shouldn't you be happy to suffer more? That's what he's trying to say. He's saying, aren't you guys paying for streaming already? And so you should be, you're suffering already now, so you should suffer more. What kind of mentality is that? We are the people that are paying for all these things, people like us that are paying for this are not happy to pay for it. Like that sometimes I don't want to pay for stuff like this. So there sometimes I just cut it off. I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to pay for this, and I'll just look for internet connection to watch some things. So because we are suffering already, so we should be cool with suffering more. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Exactly.
We should be cool with suffering more. We shouldn't protest. We shouldn't
protest. You continue. I want to come in here. Sorry.
Okay.
Because there's something we all need to understand. And I think we're missing the role of FIFA, UEFA, the FA with regards to football. They have a different job. They're stakeholders, but they're not really stakeholders because the FA is an association of the owners of football clubs and players and former players. UEFA is an association of FAs. FIFA is the same thing. They are not, without football, a football product, FIFA is useless.
Yeah.
FIFA's money is not mainly about FIFA is not supposed to be, FIFA is more like a charity, let me put it like that. And why I'm pointing this out is that what people seem to miss is that if there's no money coming from the top down, there's no Nigerian national team. I say this as a Nigerian because I know FIFA subsidizes my country's football every year. They take money from the likes of USA, England, Germany, and give it to countries like Peru.
Buchi, I'll just quickly just one second, Buchi, to back up your point. People don't realize that last April, when the pandemic hit, UEFA distributed 236 million euros to the 55 member countries. Yes, they do that regularly. UEFA do this kind of things. FIFA do this kind of things. They help the smaller countries. They don't realize that, okay, it's true, there's corruption in FIFA, there's corruption in UEFA, but they help smaller countries. They distribute money. They do all this kind of things. So I just want to back up Buchi's point that, look, if the money is not coming from the top,
and that is what these people are trying to get rid of. When they talk about trying to maximize the amount of money that they're making, that is where they're taking the money from. They're taking money from the money. They're taking money from the money going to Africa to help develop the leagues and help people. They're taking the money away from the smaller countries and the smaller infrastructure to develop football. That's where they're taking the money away from. And now they're just trying to hold it by themselves. Like someone raised a comment about, I'm not seeing the good in the other side. Okay, other than making money, what other good is there? There is no other good. And
let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. What's the good of it? So we're going to have an exclusive tournament that comes in to replace UEFA Champions League. Well, can I ask a simple question? It's a rhetorical question. Nobody has to answer it. What is better than the Champions League?
Nothing. The
English Premier League we're talking about, these top 6 teams that are making noise about being the spectacle. Let me not lie to you. This very season, the most refreshing thing that ever happened to this league this season was Aston Villa and Leeds United.
Yep.
Leeds United getting promoted, refresh this league.
Yep.
They're a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
Same thing with Sheffield United last season, who got relegated. Look at Brighton.
Yep.
Look at these little clubs. Look at Fulham getting relegated, but we love them.
West Ham.
West Ham, like how exactly? Someone just posted it. West Ham have the chance to win a cup.
Yes.
Where does this go?
Where does this exactly?
Where does this go?
And you know something else I want to talk about. There is also we have teams like Everton being able to employ a coach like Carlo Ancelotti, right? We have teams like Leeds United being able to employ Marcelo Bielsa.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because over the years they've grown in their capacity to amass resources, right? We will never see that again. We will never see that again. Like and Bucci, I don't know if you remember this when we were on the live stream for the Man United Granada game, right? Before this Super League thing before the weekend, I said that I think the struggle we're seeing with Manchester United in this past decade, at least post-Ferguson era, right, is that we struggle to dominate in a non-monopolistic environment. Mm-hmm. When there is no oligopoly, right? When the power is not concentrated in the hands of a few, Manchester United struggles to compete. And this Super League thing, I think it's proving me right. Because gone are the days where you can go to Everton, slap 30 million on the table and take a Wayne Rooney.
Right.
Gone are the days where you can walk to Leeds United, slap 29 million and walk out with Rio Ferdinand. Gone are the days where you go to Tottenham Hotspur, you slap down 29.75 million and walk away with Dimitar Berbatov. Today, you're paying 80 million for Harry Maguire. No shame. Right? You go to Aston Villa and you tell them, hey, I want Jack Grealish. They'll be like, where's the 100 million?
100 million, yeah.
100 million.
No.
So
hold on. You can go to Aston Villa and give them 100 million and they give it back to you.
Facts.
Exactly.
So give it back to you.
Why is that more difficult these days? Because they have money. And this is what these teams are trying to get rid of. That is exactly what they're trying to get rid of. Why? And that is my why. You know, it's just people are saying, what is the positive in this? I don't know. I don't know what the positive is. I was thinking the only positive. I was thinking initially. I hate to be political, right? Mm-hmm. But it's almost like, you know how people say, well, the Republican Party enabled Donald Trump, and they created an animal that they couldn't control, right? So it almost seems like UEFA and FIFA, right, gave so many concessions to these big clubs. And these big clubs have become so big, and now they've become the giants that will come around and eat up.
They never had a choice.
Eat up.
They never had a choice. Let me remind you of something. These are beasts. I mean, Manchester City walked away with a slap on the wrist for flouting financial fair play rule, right? Everybody was talking about, oh, maybe they'll get fined, maybe they'll get banned from Champions League. No, they might even win the same Champions League they're about to get banned from.
Right.
You know, so maybe UEFA and FIFA gave way too many concessions to the Manchester Cities, to the PSGs, and now these clubs have become so big they're about to eat up these beasts that were created by FIFA and UEFA. Maybe that's the only good part of it. I don't know.
Do you think if FIFA slapped, or if UEFA slapped Man City and Chelsea with the right penalties they should have, do you think it would have prevented this from happening?
No.
No,
You think?
no. This was always going to happen. This is what I'm saying.
It was always
In
going to happen.
97,
It was always going to happen.
Ola
It was
will
always
remember
gonna happen.
this. In 97,
Mhm.
I think it was 96, when they expanded the Champions League. I remember what happened before that. What happened before that was there were clubs that would have spent to get to the Champions League and try and win it, which was like the Italian clubs, Parma, Lazio, and then there was a TV, the main company that was doing TV rights fell, it collapsed. I forgot the name of that company, but it even fell, it dragged FIFA down and affected cricket. So these clubs at that moment when football was going through this, they struck. That was when they started threatening FIFA about pulling away. It was just around when, because EPL pulled out in 92. And that's when these vibes were going out. So around 96, 97, UEFA said, no, okay, no more, let's expand the Champions League. No associate champions anymore. They expanded it. But it never left. 4 years later, in 2002 or 2003, they expanded it again. Because they did the double group stage, they now reduced it.
And they gave England one more automatic
space.
It was three.
Yeah.
It was three spots. They now made it
Before
four.
you know it, it now became top. Only 3 clubs had 4. Now it's now 4 clubs have 4. And they're even trying to push for 5. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that Spurs and Arsenal, I'm not picking on names. I'm just giving the current table because I'm not. No club here is innocent. It's not about Spurs or Arsenal, and I'm not, but Spurs or Arsenal, for example, are going, we're not in the top 4 this year, we should be, because we're better than, what's it called? We're better than, let me use Red Star Belgrade. What's Red Star Belgrade doing in the Champions League? And then they now turn around and look at UEFA. One way, the Champions League will make more money for you guys. You want us in there. And so it's one of those things that you're going, because everybody has a point. The points that these big clubs have is that I do not wake up to watch Newcastle versus Brighton unless I have to. I don't say I don't do it, but I would have to force myself up. However, I'm going to wake up to watch Tottenham versus Brighton, Arsenal versus Aston Villa, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, United versus Leicester.
But how many of us here watched Leicester City versus Southampton yesterday? How many of us here watched Leicester City versus Southampton yesterday? How many of us here watched that game?
I watched it because of Kelechi. I watched it.
Okay. How many people do you think watched Chelsea versus Man City? Almost everyone did, right? So I get your point. I get the point. But I think the problem is when we're trying to throw out the bathwater, let's not throw the baby out.
Yeah.
Let's not throw the baby out. Because there is a way to make sure these clubs make more money, right, than creating this exclusive club. Because listen, if the Super League was open to any team, if the Super League was open to any team to participate, we wouldn't be complaining.
Right.
We wouldn't be. And that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Open it up. These things are flavors of the month. Like, we're lucky. We're definitely privileged in this group, right? We're Liverpool, we're Manchester United, but even Liverpool self, right? We're down for several years, languishing in the middle of the table. Like, we haven't always been at the very top, and these things are cyclical. Like right now, you have Man City, you have Chelsea, you have Manchester United, you have Liverpool, top 4, right? Back in the day, those weren't the top 4 teams. Like we've already talked about. Newcastle were up there, right? Leeds semi-finals back in 2002 of the Champions League. That means they're not just one of the best teams in England, they're one of the best teams in Europe. You know, these things are cyclical. And the fact that they've decided to close themselves off and not make it so that everyone has the merit, and anyone through merit can qualify to get in, is the most problematic thing of all. And also, there's absolutely no checks and balances. Once they leave, who controls these owners? Who's the one to push back on these owners? So now it's literally right now there's a perception, right, that the owners control everything. Once they create this league, there's no perception. It's just straight fact, right? There's absolutely no. If someone disagrees with Ed Woodward, oh well, so Glazer, oh well. There's nothing.
Nobody to keep them in check. Nobody.
No one keeping them in check, and that's a problem.
If you remember what they proposed last year, the Project Restart. Project Big Picture. The 6 clubs, the 6 permanent clubs, we're going to have veto rights.
Yeah.
As opposed to what they do now, where all 20 clubs have to have a quorum where 14 vote. Must vote for something. The 6 clubs can veto what all of them say.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the United Nations Security Council, where there's like 5 countries that pretty much determine what happens around the world. US, UK, France, Russia, and China. Every other seat on the Security Council is rotating. And when those 5 countries veto it, that's it. It's nothing is happening again. And we can't have that in sport.
And this is the injustice.
And this is that's
the injustice. The us 6 don't have the power.
Right.
I'm going to take a comment.
Let's see the question. There are some questions in the comments.
Yeah. Let's run through some listening because some of them we've already talked about. This one was for Jola. It says not only that, Jola, also in the game, gone are the days where you beat Everton home and away or beat the relegation teams black and blue. Now the league is getting tighter and competition stiffer. That to win the league, you have to spend a lot. The quality of lower teams are catching up with the bigger boys. To prevent this, the Big 6, they decided to secure their birthright of European funds.
Whoever that is, I'll buy you.
Yeah. Another comment that adds to that, I'll jump to that, was from Chris Ojo. He said they're trying to make big teams great again because they're just regular as any other team today. Okay, I want to focus a little bit on, but I'll answer this question first. Then we'll talk about some of the stuff Chucky has raised. Because Chucky raised some points when he supported it. And I don't want us to dismiss it.
Let's make a note of that question too. That one right there.
Do fans have any sort of power? This is easy. No. Why?
I disagree.
No, I'll tell you why. Ola, you live in England.
Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Ireland. You live around the UK. How many times do people go to the stadiums now? A lot of people fly out, especially for teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs, the big teams. A lot of people fly from America, China, Australia, Africa to come and watch these games. There's more money on TV, especially with what just happened with the pandemic. These guys do not care about. I do not see any American fans saying we're not watching. Not any, but that many American fans saying we're not watching the Premier League. It's not gonna happen in Asia. The only place that's gonna be a blowback is in Europe. But this is not designed for Europe. It's designed for outside Europe. The European market is
for the global audience. Yes, it's designed for the global audience.
Yes. And to add to this, every league. I thought about this when we're talking. A lot of leagues have gone super. Of course, the NFL is already super, but cricket did this too. Cricket basically it caused a big issue when they created the Super League in India because it almost broke away it almost broke up the current cricket format. But what even made it funnier was that the new format, the Super League format, was quick cricket, so it was more interesting and people loved it more than the old boring long cricket matches. And so sometimes something like change might come in and end up being good. The merits of this is actually weird, but less games. And why I said less games is if they pull out of the European Cup, from what I understand, they will have less games. They will focus more on the Super League. So these guys would have about 2 or 3 sets of players, and they will give the Premier League and the FA Cup the list and give. So what we'll be having is all-star games every month or whenever these games happen, and then regular players will play in the league.
I'm not sure it's less game. Actually, I'm not sure it's less games.
I think
I'm not sure it's fewer
it
games.
is more games. Actually.
I think it's more. Let me calculate it for you. Okay, let's assume they don't get kicked out of the Premier League.
Mhm.
If they don't get kicked out, they are playing 38 games in the Premier League. So what they want to do is they want to have 2 groups of 10 teams.
Mhm.
So they want a total of 20. And in those groups of 10 teams, each team will play the other team home and away. So that's 18 matches for that group. And then they now said they will now do like playoffs. So the top 3 will go into the next round. Then there will now be a playoff between the 4th and 5th to go into the quarterfinal. So by the time you calculate, it's almost like 20-something games, like 24 games to get to the final. The final is one-off. The final is not home and away. But to get to the final, I think works closer to 24 games. And in the current Champions League, I think you play basically less than that.
Yeah,
In the current Champions League, you play 6
In Champions
six
League, you
groups.
play 12 games if you get to the final.
Yeah,
Exactly. But in this Super League,
was
you
the
play
final.
over 20-something games to get to the final. So it's
Yeah.
more games, but they don't care
But
about the players.
these guys
They
are
don't
these
care
guys
about
are not
the
going
fans.
to play the FA Cup.
Domestic cups as well.
They'll pull out of the
Yeah.
domestic cup.
Yeah,
The
they play,
domestic
but
cups is
how many
there.
games is the domestic cup in the first place? Many of them, the League Cup is only four games to get to the final. The
Yeah.
FA Cup is only like 5 games to get to
5
the
games,
final.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's not much. But I'm sorry, before you answer the other questions, we have not talked about the players. We have talked about the fans. I was watching James Milner tonight. James Milner absolutely hates this idea. Patrick Bamford is not happy with this idea. Leeds players were wearing T-shirts saying "Earn it."
Earn it.
The
Yeah.
players, a large percentage of players do not like this either.
Mhm.
And if we, as fans, as the fans that are supporting this, if the players themselves who are playing this are saying they don't like it, then that's a big red flag.
That's a big.
That's a big red flag.
And Ola, you know what's even worse? These players will go back. I want us to talk about Chuki's question in a little bit, but let's go back to the players, right? These are the individuals upon whom we depend for the entertainment, right?
Mhm.
So the idea that, and there is nothing to suggest that they had any sort of conference with these players before this idea came out. Not even with the coaches, because I think Klopp said that they never even talked about it to
No, it didn't know until yesterday. It didn't know until yesterday.
Right. So the players and the coaches, like especially the players, it's a very tough position to put them in, because let's take a look. Somebody like James Milner right now, right? You put this man in a position where he has to choose between making a livelihood, playing for Liverpool Football Club, or taking a stand. That is not a good place to be.
Mhm.
That is not a good place to be. And James Milner, we can say, I mean, he's accomplished. If he retires today, he's good. How about up and coming players? Right. How about Vinicius at Tottenham Hotspur? Right. How about these players who are literally trying to find their feet in the game? It's killing them too. Let's go back to the original question of what fans can do to stop this. Buchi, I hear your point. I want to counter that a little bit, right? This move is dependent on the whole thinking and the truth that football has become a more global sport, right? They have pretty much traded the so-called legacy fans, the match-going everyday British fans, right? They've traded that audience for the more international audience in Saudi Arabia, right? In China, in Qatar, right?
USA.
In the United States. As such, the fan base has also become more global. What we can do is this: don't buy the merch. Bola, I see two jerseys back there. Let those be the last you buy for Liverpool Football Club.
Y'all want is
Let
that?
those be listen. As long as this idea remains a reality, you people will never see me in United gear.
Facts.
I'm telling you that right now, because that is what I can do. You can't tell me to not watch the games. I can't not watch. I can't. Let me be real with myself. I can't not watch Manchester United. Right? Even though I fell in love with the game before I became a fan of Manchester United, you can't tell me not to watch, because quite frankly, watching football, playing football, being engaged with football is what keeps some people sane.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Big fact.
Mhm.
So the fact is, in the little way that somebody like me can help, right, can send a message, is by not putting my money in the merchandise in the merchandise store, right?
Nope.
But by not by not going to Old Trafford whenever I get a chance. Whenever I get a chance to travel again, you will not see me step foot in Old Trafford. Hell no, because they don't deserve my money. You know, I will go to Stadio Olimpico. I'll go to Stadio Olimpico to watch Roma. Right? I will go to watch Valencia. I am not stepping foot. I'm not stepping foot in the Emirates Stadium. I don't care how beautiful the stadium is. Mm-hmm. So I see a comment about the season tickets. I hear you. But listen to what I said. What I said was they have traded the match-going audience.
They don't care about those guys
on the international scale.
I'm sorry to say this, but season tickets are not. They're not a major source of income.
They're not a major source. They don't care. They don't care about those.
Nobody has been going to football games.
Season tickets approximate less than 30. Like it's basically like $20 a game. I'm not saying it's not expensive, but these guys pay like $1,000 a year.
Fact.
And then they pay some extra for the cup games.
Guys,
if you're not divided, which doesn't give you more than 50-60 million, depending on the size of your stadium.
Which is crazy. Look at what happened to Liverpool. They revolted when they tried to increase the ticket prices to $77. You know, I live in the Bay Area. If I want to see the Raiders play or the 49ers play, I'm dropping over $200 per ticket. If I want to go see the Golden State Warriors play in the worst ticket, I'm dropping nearly $200. So these are the owners of these types of franchises, and they're looking like, why can't I milk this cow more than what I'm currently milking it? And so that's why I completely agree with Jola, with Oga Kwame, sorry. Mm-hmm. We have to, don't buy merchandise. People that do have season ticket, I heard an argument that, you know, if people just don't show up, they're just going to fill them up with their corporate people anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So buy tickets, have your tickets, but then walk out the stadium. Walkouts are effective. Protests.
It's worked out for it's worked for Liverpool. It
worked for Liverpool. Yeah. And you know what? If people are really, really strong and passionate about this, you know, maybe there's an opportunity to start your own club from the beginning or support.
Let me quickly say something.
Now, that's an extreme argument, but I'm just saying some of the stuff that I've heard people talk about. People talking about supporting AFC Liverpool, and I'm like, whoa, that's a big step there.
Do you know what you're saying, Bola?
Huh?
Bola, what you were saying about walking out. I'm just backing up on that point. Somebody make a comment that these clubs were a bit smart also. They did this when they knew fans would not be in stadium.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They did this. They picked a very good opportune time to do this now before fans start getting back into the stadium, because they know how it will look. If fans were in the stadium, fans will start walking out, doing protests. Even the protests have started already, but it's not really effective because fans are not there.
And let me go back to the point about ticket sales. For the last 12 months, they have not had fans in the stadium, right? Are they making money? Yes.
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
So that tells you right there that they can do without the ticket sales, with all due respect. Yeah. With all due respect to your season ticket, right?
It's just like they will need to start building less expensive stadium.
True. But they're still making money without tickets. And why are they making money without selling tickets? It's because of the broadcast revenue. Mm-hmm. It's because of the merchandise. It's because of the appeal to the global fan base. Let us, the global fan base, let us impact them in the way we can.
In the
little way we can. That way they can start to respect the legacy fans more.
Look at the deal that Liverpool.
Chucky, I like the way Chuck is counting this thing because it's quite true.
It is.
And that's why I'm mad.
You're right.
You're supposed to be here. You got the invite, and you're here running commentary on the side.
I wish it was in this thing because that is a great point. Football is a hell of a drug. I just said it. I can't stay away.
Yeah,
it is a
thing. Remember when
I said? That's why I said.
Look at them. They come to start. I'm going to watch. Blah blah blah. They sit down. They're not interested in the game. They're not looking at the sides. If you want to go to Old Trafford now, go to Anfield during the regular season. Go maybe not Barcelona and Real Madrid because they're not always sold out. Arsenal, you will struggle to find a ticket. You might not pay 500 quid.
Yeah.
Right.
The only way you get a ticket is if you go to these guys that do a hotel, tourism package.
Yeah.
And so when you get that, you end up paying like 600-700 quid, hotel, whatever package. That's how you get in to see these games.
Yeah,
When I went to
got
watch
the
Real
last
Madrid and Man United here, and then Man City, Man United here as well, when I watched those games, I spent $150 each time.
Oh, for the exhibition game?
Exhibition game.
Oh,
We're not counting the state. We're not counting the jerseys. We're not counting, because some people bought jerseys for the first time. We're not counting the amount of money we spend in the stadium, and then people now bought other things around. It's nuts. But these guys make a lot of money traveling. And you're going to start seeing Super League games in America. You're going to see Super League games in China, Brazil. They got to walk this market. And I am, again, going to say it over and over, I am not mad at them. Because if they did not do it, someone else would have done it. If they did not, someone else would have done it. What I'm mad at is the fact that they have gone ahead and made it so exclusive that, what happens to, like I keep pointing out, to those other clubs, like, good. What happens to RB Leipzig and the one in Austria? Those guys are putting so much money to build that club. They built it up from the bottom up, made that club an envy of Europe. And now they're not going to play the Champions League.
Right.
I did hear they got an invitation though.
They might not come because
they said no.
Mm-hmm.
But also the German
it was Dortmund and Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Dortmund and Bayern.
Yeah.
I heard Porto was invited and they declined. Bayern and Dortmund. But if you look at their statements, they always say, we will not be joining over the next couple of weeks, which kind of gives them an out, right? Like, oh, maybe in a month or so we might join. But it's a crazy world.
See the comment about Madrid. That guy is saying Madrid did not make a big signing because of match day tickets. That's not the reason Madrid did not make a signing. Madrid are in debt.
Stadium.
Madrid are in debt. They are owing money. They are building a new stadium. Madrid's finances have been going towards building a new stadium, and they are owing money. So it's not because of the matchday fans. It's because they didn't have money available. So matchday fans is really a small percentage of what clubs make nowadays. The income they make. So matchday income is not really the biggest thing. Like we have covered it already. We've all covered it.
And to your point, Ola, I completely understand why Real Madrid and Barcelona want to do it because, like you said, their finances are terrible. They are in financial trouble and they need to do something crazy like this just to survive.
Or else they'll be left behind. They'll be left behind.
Yeah.
They created the financial troubles for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I think we've covered this as much as we can. I want to ask the viewers if they have any direct questions. If not, I'll just put everybody in a hot seat, ask you guys direct questions, and you guys can ask me one. And then we will round up. Because instead, we'll just continue beating this dead horse. Because, like I said, I can talk about this from now to tomorrow. And my last comment on this is I had, the Liverpool and Man United this always comes in here. Because yesterday, I never made a comment which I didn't think was very offensive. And then this guy came out today and blasted him for the comment club. And then in hindsight, when I thought about it, I said maybe it would have been offensive because Klopp was under a lot of pressure. He should have even,
He was.
Yeah, it was.
But do you know, Richie? We want paracetamol. Thank you. Well, we'll be all right. Last. Like Joanna Capabu.
I know.
Capabu.
Let me talk about Gary Neville real quick because I don't want this to go without being said. Right? You guys remember during the pandemic when I think was it Sky Sports was raising the subscription on British fans to watch Premier League games, I think they were gonna pay like £15 to watch a game or some ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that.
They're making it pay per view.
Okay, right. Sky Sports is a huge, they're a huge player, right? In worldwide sports, really, right? And I don't remember Gary Neville coming out saying anything to defend the fans then. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I heard it. At least not as loudly as I've heard him in the last 2 days. I don't remember Rebecca Lowe. I love Rebecca Lowe, right? On over here stateside. I love her. And NBCSN broadcasts the Premier League through Sky Sports. So, I mean, she ain't said nothing, right? Robbie Earl, Robbie Mustoe. I love those guys. Not one of them said, I didn't hear a peep from them, right? As soon as a structure comes out that will threaten the source of their income, we hear them loud and clear. Now, listen, I remember at the beginning I said, look, I don't know anybody who doesn't like money. I get it, right? I get it. But I just wish people like Gary Neville would keep the same energy, regardless of the type of injustice that happens. Because it seems like these people are okay with certain types of injustice if it doesn't affect them. Okay, I just happen to be somebody who likes to call BS on things when I see them, regardless of who it affects.
Let's not restrict it to Gary Neville, though.
I hear everything that Gary Neville said, and I agree with it. I'm just asking for where his energy was in, I think it was August or September last year when Sky Sports was increasing the subscription, because it was out there holding a Sky Sports.
Jola, remember what happened when Sky Sports wanted to do this thing that you were talking about? They wanted to charge £15. The fans said no. The fans protested. And what now happened? Some fans now, instead of paying that money, they now took that money and started donating to charity. And before you know it, Sky Sports backed down and they scrapped that idea. They scrapped that idea. So when people are telling me that Shebi, you're paying for it already, you're already suffering. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that because I'm already suffering. I should agree to suffer more. If I have a right to protest and say enough is enough, I have a right to say enough is enough. And fans last year, they said enough is enough. We are not paying £15 to be watching an extra game. Why should we be paying £15? And they took that money and started donating to charity. And what happened? Sky Sports backed down. So we have a right to complain. We have a right to say no more. You have a right. And regarding Gary Neville, I'm not even going to go in on him. Okay, yes. No, I'm not going to go in on him because I understand what you're saying. To me, it felt like he was overplaying it yesterday. It felt like he was being too emotional with it. But I understand his viewpoint because, like Jola said, his income is being threatened. So my guy does not want his income to be threatened. So he has to go in
I do appreciate him though.
Yeah, look at this comment though, because this comment fits into what Jola just said. Chucky said, just before Jola started speaking, he said, more fans complicity. These clubs have been living beyond their means. The fans protest when Ronaldo, Bale, Griezmann was bought. Did they hold their club's feet to the fire? Now COVID has turned their business upside down. They have to play catch up. One season in this league does that. And then someone goes, Jola.
I agree with you, kid.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is comparing apples to oranges. It's the employer. If it was you, you wouldn't say anything. Also, this does not threaten their income in any way. Sky will probably get TV rights anyway, so it's not
Hold on. They said it. Sky Sports said it. Sky Sports has said it that they are not part of this. Sky Sports have said it because they know they cannot get. It's DAZN, DAZN, and BN. Yeah, it's not Sky.
I'd be wanting some part of it too. This time I go on Amazon Prime. So this is threatening their income. If you think it's not, I think you should
look at what Patrick Bamford said.
Negotiate your argument.
Look at what Patrick Bamford said. That guy is funny. Patrick Bamford, his team warmed up with NA. Football is for fans. That's what they warmed up. He came after the game and said, I can't quite comprehend. It's amazing the amount of uproar when somebody's pocket is being hot. It's a shame that doesn't happen with issues like racism.
Unfortunately, Patrick Bamford doesn't know me very well, so you know.
Man, you know what's making me laugh is football is dealing with this issue, and then they're also dealing with their woke players. Woke. It's like there's so much wokeness going on, and I'm not against it. I'm quite happy for it. But sometimes you don't even know what the issue is because it's the same thing with this issue. Some people's issues are the ticket prices. Some issues are relegation. Some issues are American owners.
I agree with Gary Neville about one thing that I said yesterday. These owners are cowards. Do you know why? These owners, they will drop bombshells like this. They will not come to a press conference. They will not show up in front of camera. They will send Klopp. They will send Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They will send their coaches to go in front of camera and be answering loaded questions. These owners are cowards. They are cowards. They will do all this kind of thing, and they never say a single word. They'll never show up in the press conference. And
all they do is they release it on their website. That's what they do.
Who signed the statement on the Liverpool website, Ola? Who signed it?
Who
signed it?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the the Manchester United guy?
Ed Woodward.
Can you imagine that? Woodward. Signed press statement on Liverpool's website, Woodward. Same thing with Tottenham and Arsenal, Woodward.
You know, I think
our rival.
like the communication is bad. But I just think they just did an opportunistic move and just grab it. That's what I think.
Absolutely. They know that this is. There's one thing that unites people. Okay, money. Right, money unites people. And going back to the racism issue, the fact is this, and it's so painful to acknowledge. The racism does not affect Sky Sports pockets.
It doesn't.
Right. The racism does not affect Man United, Liverpool's. Yeah, they'll release statements, we condemn racism, they'll let their players kneel and do all those things. But when it comes down to it, it really doesn't threaten their own pockets. It doesn't threaten the very existence of the game, which is sad in itself, right? Something else about Ed Woodward. You guys know that Ed Woodward used to work at JP Morgan?
Yeah.
Ed Woodward. So is it a coincidence that JP Morgan is the entity providing £6 billion for this ungodly project?
It might be, but it might also not be because that bank itself. I mean, they would have given the money.
No.
It might not be a coincidence.
What I'm trying to say is this: Ed Woodward is a financial genius.
The banker,
right? Mm-hmm. This guy is a calculated businessman. When this man decided, and now I understand why they've pretty much sold Manchester United. They've sold our soul for money because they know that because in the past you had to win stuff to get money, right? But now you've gotten to a point where, I don't need to win anymore to get money. So why don't I just go ahead and not win and still get money?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. That is exactly what they're doing.
That's what's happening to us too. It's happening to us too in Liverpool.
Right. And guess what? Winning takes actual effort, right? Winning takes. That's true. That's
agreed.
Winning takes actual effort. Winning takes actually investing in the infrastructure, investing in the recruitment, investing in the coaching, in the players of your football club. Why go through all of that when you can just give Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and give all these guys rights to stream? So it's just very bothersome. And I think these owners, they know that we love the game so much, and they have us exactly where they want us. They know we will come back.
It's sad
for the drug.
No, but we have to fight at some point. That's my point. At some point, at some point, we have to say enough is enough. That's just it. Where would it stop? Where will it stop? Because if we allow them to get away with this, they will still do something else that will be worse than this in like 10 years' time.
Yeah,
they already did.
Keep going.
They got away with it.
To be honest, it's already planned out. Like the next 20 plus years, the next evolution has already been planned out. It's these folks are look at Michael Edwards, right? Look at how he's been so masterful with these these trades and selling players, and look at the Woodwards, and look at how they've been masterful in monetizing and profitizing off of Manchester United. These are straight business people. And while I respect business and I have no problem with business, the one thing that they're missing out on in football, there's always been I guess the technical term is a triple bottom line. And they're not paying any attention to that at all. They're all about maximizing their money, period. So, all the things I mentioned earlier about, once all these leagues are going away, all of a sudden you're going to have salary caps. More ways for these owners not to spend any more money. You're going to start having non-guaranteed contracts. People are going to eventually be pawns, right? Ticket prices are going to go up. But it doesn't matter, right? Because we're addicted. It's like Jodeci. We're fiending. We're fiending for football every single day. So
yes, we are.
But going back to Ola's point, we can do the little we can, right?
Agreed.
As individual fans, to at least send a message. We can. You don't have to wear that Liverpool jersey. You don't have to. When you travel to Europe, you don't have to go see Juventus play. You don't have to go see Manchester United or Chelsea. No, you don't have to. I just feel like with the little power we wield, we can at least, even if it doesn't change, at least, at the very least make a symbolic gesture that for as long as they continue to have this Super League, which is a closed competition, which is a group of the big boys close to everybody else, you will never see the merch on my net. Ever. I swear. Somebody kick this lady off. Somebody please kick this lady off. Somebody end the internet.
We will ban her. No, this is too much. Somebody
take her phone away.
We will take away your rights. This is too much.
Hello, my name is Bola and I'm a football alcoholic.
And this is another one. And that thing we said earlier. Chris is saying the same thing here. Chris Gonzalez is saying salary cap where financial fair play is a joke.
Oh yeah, I mean they're already relaxing financial fair play.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What Chris isn't understanding, what I'm saying is when the leagues if this Super League comes into play, say the domestic leagues get torn down, there's no competition, no structure, there's no governing body, no checks and balances. What fully stops these owners from turning it into an NFL model? We're not talking about financial fair play. We're talking about NFL no guarantee contracts. We're talking about NFL style, their salary caps, things owners can do to protect, because this is where they're going. Like I said,
because
I heard
they already started now.
They can't get their head around relegation concept and
promotions.
They money and they can still lose it.
And you know what? That's true. If they cannot get their head around the relegation concept, I'm sure they cannot get their head around the guaranteed salary.
Exactly.
They cannot get their head around the whole,
there's one set of power players in this that they won't mess with. The people that know their power now, they've had the power for years. They're causing part of our problems because they know their power. That's the players.
The players.
Mm-hmm.
If Pro might not say a word about this because they haven't told them their contracts have been affected. When we'll start having a problem, and why I'm mentioning FIFA Pro is because there's a cascading effect to all of this, where if FIFA, for example, starts banning players from playing in World Cup, those players will take FIFA to court because they have to work for their clubs. They are contracted to their clubs. FIFA cannot tell them not to go and earn money when they have contracts. So if FIFA tell them to break their contract, they'll ask FIFA to pay them. That's where the problem starts.
See,
if clubs say they're gonna start cutting down their salaries, FIFA Pro has always been guaranteed contracts. It's almost 50 or 60 years now. That one will not change because those guys will not mess with. These players want more money. What FIFA Pro will do is sit down and negotiate with these guys to get more money and let it go. They won't take less money.
I hear that. I think there's only one entity that can solve or help solve this whole thing from a legalistic point of view, and that is the government. right?
Yeah.
If the UK government actually steps in and operates in a legitimate regulatory capacity, right? I think they're the only ones that can stop it. Because
they don't have the constitutional power to do it.
They might. They can give them. They might. I don't listen. I don't know much about UK constitutional law or whatever. But in the midst of the freedom of contract principles, right? There also has to be some regulatory powers given to the government, especially in light of foreign owners. Especially while they might not have the constitutional power to tell a player who to play for or where to earn money, they have the power to regulate foreign actors. So in this case, when we're talking about the Glazer family coming in, when we're talking about the Kroenke family coming in, when we're talking about FSG, they can regulate those people. Why? Because they're international actors. So if the UK government steps in to regulate that part of it, I think that's one of the ways out.
And we've already heard statements from
Boris
Prince William, who is the chair of the FA, as well as Boris Johnson as well. Now, I wish it was someone else other than Boris Johnson, but still, people are saying that they want to do something about it. So, you know, I wouldn't put that aside as a potential, solution. And then going back to the point I was making before, someone said that, you can't really stop that. That makes sense when you have independent entities. So you have Liverpool, you have Manchester United. Oh, Liverpool doesn't want this player. Manchester United comes, swoops them up. But when you're a franchise,
that's true.
Yeah,
it's different.
They do some Colin Kaepernick stuff on that.
Exactly. Perfect example. Colin Kaepernick. I'm gonna blackball you. Okay, you don't want this contract. No one's gonna sign this player. They can have backroom discussions about that. There's absolutely no checks and balances about football moving forward anymore.
Wow. Wow, man.
Rest in peace, football.
And all you need to do is release a little press statement saying, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
We haven't met about, can you imagine that? Like Virgil van Dijk breaking his leg, out for the rest of the season. If this was the NFL, they'll expire his contract. We don't care how great you are. We'll get another great center back. That's the NFL.
That's how they treat NFL players?
Huh?
You only get your players. Let's say you get
the NFL.
And you're out for 1 year. You sign a 5-year contract. You get paid for the 1 year you were injured. You get some injury compensation. Then they cut you.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh
we're dealing with football people. The Glazers own.
They own Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, Kroenke owns the
LA Rams.
Rams, yeah.
With football people, they're like, I'm making money off this is how I'm used to making my money. What is up with this English model where players have rights to guaranteed contracts? That's how they're looking at it. What do you mean I can spend all this money and I can get relegated? What is this nonsense? That's how they're literally looking at it.
With their Nigerian accents.
I know. What is this?
And NFL owners, there is special kind of madness. Their own fans hate them. Most of their players don't like it because, for example, they can wake up now and go, no player will kneel down in my team during national anthem, and they won't.
No one.
Wow.
They'll go to the contract and find a clause and tell them if you kneel down, you dock your money. I'm telling you, fans, a player will say before the game, oh, we're thinking about this. The owner will come out and say, no, the club is not doing this. All those players will go in and come out and follow the line. The NFL is so controlled.
So this is what we're looking at.
This is what we're looking at.
This is the future. This is the future we're looking at.
Non-corruption.
Well, the thing about football that makes football a little bit different from the NFL is actually there's nothing else. And you've just killed me this evening, bro. Oh god, this guy just wants me. Who is Charlie Bell? What's up? Tell you that you guys already discussed how they could move the. We didn't even talk about that. How they could move the entire franchise that they did to the Dodgers. We didn't even talk about it. Now you guys are bringing up very sad
Oh,
facts.
wow.
Yeah.
That is true because they moved the Dodgers from
Brooklyn,
what?
Brooklyn
From
to LA.
From Brooklyn to LA.
So we could have a Birmingham United
Exactly.
instead of a Manchester United.
Exactly.
They could tell City, look, we're saturated. City, move down. Go to Birmingham.
Oh my God.
Arsenal, move out of London. There's nothing in that area. You know what I'm saying? And then this might not be that, like we said, we're expecting games here. So you could end up having like, when the weather is not so good, December period, they can fly down to Qatar or even Miami.
Yeah.
Don't give us some rounds of, you know what I'm saying? Because at that period, the Spanish league is on break.
Mm-hmm.
So it fits them to come and play some games.
Because as you already saw, I think it was
the London Red Devils,
the ICC tournament. You know, that summer tournament where they come to America.
Yeah,
those stadiums are full.
Full.
Paying 3 times the price of what they're paying in England.
I couldn't when Juventus came to play in Atlanta, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get a ticket. It's ridiculous.
It's mad.
What's it called? And then they do that thing where before they come, they launch New Jersey. You come into the stadium, you see all these people with New Jerseys.
Right.
They're like, I remember I was sitting down beside one Real Madrid fan, because I was sitting down with my friend. We went together, but the lady next to me was a Real Madrid fan, an Arabian lady, and we're talking about the game. She was like, "Oh, take a picture of me." Like, normally Arab ladies with hijab, they want to be. But she was so excited in the game. I think she forgot she was in the hijab. Take a picture of me. Like, she was. If that lady had $1 million, she would have dropped it. That's the feeling she had. She was screaming for every pass. I was that excited, but it wasn't my first time seeing them. He's right. 104,000 fans.
Yeah, in Michigan.
Michigan.
So they got money.
Mad.
We wake up 5 a.m. Some of us watch games here.
Yeah.
People in India, Australia, some of them are up till
midnight. Is up till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, watching games.
Yeah. So they have reach. They have reach.
You guys, I'm not trying to disrespect English fans. I feel for them, but they are not the priority. No.
And that is so sad.
Yeah.
That is really sad because it's sad.
One thing that through the expansion of football and through the development, when I was growing up as a kid, right? I remember when what's his name, Jorginho joined Middlesbrough, and it was like, wow, there's like a real Brazilian playing in the Premier League. Now look at my team. We have like 3.
Right.
Every team has like 3 or 4. We called I think all I called Fulham the Yoruba Demon FC. We have more representation from Africa. We have more representation from around the world. Look at what Heung-min Son is doing at Tottenham. Look at more players from around the world, which is making the league even bigger.
Yeah.
And do you know how that happened?
Huh?
And do you know how that happened?
They got rid of that rule that they had, the domestic rule.
Yeah, so and apart from that, the equal distribution of income allowed all these clubs to have pulling power.
Exactly.
And that's what the Super League won't have. The Super League is going to be a closed league. And that's when people are saying, the Super League is going to be like the Premier League because Premier League was established in 1992. It's not. It's not. The Premier League had equal distribution of income. So all the smaller clubs could attract more players from different backgrounds, more talented players. Like you said, Juninho was probably the only Brazilian that was famous then. And now Brazilians are like hundreds in the Premier League.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Even Everton, Newcastle have a Brazilian.
Everybody has a Brazilian.
Everyone has a Brazilian.
That's right.
Yeah.
But even on top of that, right? So you've got the equal distribution that's going on. Even the championship is strong. They say the championship brings in more money than La Liga, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So you have all these leagues where people can develop and they can come into. So you have international players playing in the championship now. If the domestic league folds, that's less opportunity for more players to participate. There's only a certain number of spots that you can have at Liverpool. There's only a certain number of spots you can have at Real Madrid or Chelsea, right? That means the opportunity for more of these players from around the world are also going to be diminished as well. So, and that's not just in England, that's magnified by Italy, Germany, Spain, all these other countries as well, So it's frustrating.
It magnifies up to Africa.
Absolutely.
Because I want to pull up that quote. Give me a second. Bruno and Podence, because how I saw it was Podence made the post and Bruno reacted to it. Basically, Podence was talking about, that basically like he dreamt of playing in the Champions League as a kid. And then Bruno replied, money can't buy dreams or something like that. Yeah, he said, Bruno replied, dreams cannot be bought. The post was Podence. He said, the ball. He was holding the ball, the song, the dream. And then Bruno Fernandes said, dreams cannot be bought. Because you wake up as a child. I'm not good at football. I'm probably one of the most untalented footballers ever. But I dreamt of playing the Champions League final. And I dreamt about it. My younger brother was a great kid. He was good. I remember because he was playing with my age mates. And he also dreamt about it. I had a cousin that was good. Because I came from a neighborhood of good footballers. They were good footballers. Though in hindsight, I realized they're not that good now because the people who were better. But we all had that dream. Everybody was a Maradona. Everybody wanted to be Maradona. I remember that. And then now, okay, I dream of playing in the Super League final in Miami. Or where will it be next year? Will it be maybe someday Elon Musk will take us to Mars? So, lastly, before we move on, I'm going to take this guy's comments. He ends it. He says they call them legacy fans, which is so insulting.
Yeah.
Well, they are legacy fans.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have been there since, and he doesn't want Super League. Kangaroo, we don't want it. None of us wants it. We're even questioning Brazilians now, calling guys like Fred.
Fred is a fake Brazilian though. Fred is a fake Brazilian though.
It's called for you last week. It's called for you.
Listen, he did, but I like him not because of his Brazilian skills. I like him because he's a horse. I like him because of his engine, not because he has tech.
All right. There's another story, and I'm sure that man would have been so glad because it went under. It went under. That story was just it just went under, but I didn't forget. Because I cannot forget, man.
Troll Jose Mourinho because of this. Oh my God. Listen, I had bullets for Mourinho. I had verbal bullets for him.
So, all right, now, since you have bullets for him, I'll let you take him.
Fire.
Listen,
let's go.
Listen, the fact is this. I like in my match reaction after the Spurs game, I said the only thing special about this man is his beautiful hair. Right? His hair is fantastic. His hair is gorgeous. It's cute.
Special half.
He is half. In fact, you know what we should call him? Special quarter now. Because he's 25 cents. This man is a quarter of the manager he started off as at Porto. Like when he went to Spurs.
Now be calming down.
Fam, listen, I'm not calm. Less of the calmness. Listen, when this man went to Spurs, what did we tell Spurs fans? We told them he was going to bite them in the ass. We told them he would do it. Listen, I even said, I was like, you know what? He will get sacked in the second year. That's what I said. I said after the second season, he will get sacked. This man did not even wait. This man went in record time. I was talking to my friend today and it was like, do you realize that Jose did not spend a whole season at Tottenham?
That's right.
Not one whole season. Because he came in after Poch got sacked in the first season and he finished it out and he's not even going to finish the season. The fact is this. Aside from the whole banter, Jose Mourinho is the manager for yesterday, right? He's a manager for the players like Didier Drogba, right? Frank Lampard, John Terry, players who were men at the age of 18. The fact is, in modern day football, you will find players who are 25 and they're still not as mature. You know, it is just. Listen, if I had children, I can't raise my children the way my father was raised, right? I can't raise them with all the ass whoopings like I got when I was younger. No, you have
You will just go to jail.
exactly. You have to evolve with the time. And Jose Mourinho is a manager who stood still, right, and let football pass him by. Tactics wise, man management wise, everything wise. So when I said he has no place in modern day football, he really does have no place in modern day football. He's done, and he's been done for a long time.
I will say this about Jose, and you may appreciate this, Jola, as a Man United fan. Jose gave us Jesse Lingard.
No, that wasn't him.
Messi
That
Lingard.
wasn't him.
Jesse
It
Lingard.
wasn't him. That was Van Gaal.
That was LVG.
No, that was Mourinho.
No,
Remember the number 35
that was
jersey?
debut.
Okay,
Let me
maybe
tell
have
you,
that one. I
LVG
put it with
is
Mourinho.
Mourinho.
I put it with Mourinho.
Come on.
I've
He
been
scored
giving
the cup in
him
the FA
props for that for a long
Cup
time.
final for LVG, remember? He scored the goal in the FA Cup final.
Oh
for
yeah.
It's got the FA
Oh,
Cup
yeah,
final.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that was
Yeah.
Number 35, Jesse. Yeah, that was LVG.
But when did he dance
Yeah.
against Arsenal though?
When did he dance against Arsenal? That was
under Mourinho.
That was Jose Mourinho.
Yes.
That
was when-
memory alone is worth it.
Wait. Why do Liverpool fans hate Arsenal as much as they do?
Because I'm from North London, that's why.
No, see, I
Man,
didn't really beef Arsenal fans until recently. Like Arsenal fans have just been totally irresponsible this season. Honestly, they've just been. I don't want to talk too much about Arsenal fans. Some of those Arsenal fans have been, they've been shameless. They've been shameless this season. Completely
Okay,
shameless.
these comments are ridiculous.
And hey, let me give a pass to EJ because EJ has been dope. EJ,
Yeah,
has
not all
always-
of them. Yeah,
she's the respectable person from the Arsenal crew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the rest
some
of
of
them,
them,
get rid
some
of
of
them, man.
Listen.
they cannot all be going mad at the same time. Somebody must be reasonable. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I know an Arsenal fan. Right now, I'm taking a guys. This is a good one. It's past midnight in the UK. It seems like
This is my Onome, this is my therapy session.
This is
my therapy session tonight.
Oh.
So man, I'm going to keep going until like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
It's my therapy session, man.
I know an Arsenal fan
So,
that loves Jose
how? Why?
to
How?
the point that he said Arsenal should have hired Jose instead of. And when they qualified for the League Cup final, he came out and said, "Look, I was telling them now Jose will win a trophy. It will be here." And Jose got fired. Then there's some Man United fans that came on. If you go on Twitter, they'll start telling you, "Oh, yeah, the guy that last won you a trophy is bad." But you want this, like, basically, they will, as far as they're concerned, the reason why Jose failed at Spurs was because of Spurs mentality, not him. That the club has, the players are weak, they don't have winners. Like, this is the same guy, this is the same guy that this guy took to Champions League final.
Harry Kane is weak.
Harry Kane is like, he basically said that they should watch it, that if they had gotten the first one, man, dude.
Are we forgetting at the beginning of this season when Gareth Bale came, when Reguilon came,
Mhm.
when Højbjerg when he came, and when Spurs
Doherty.
season so high, they were flying. What were they saying?
Right.
They're title contenders.
Right.
Mhm.
So now we have amnesia, right? Now we have amnesia. We've forgotten that part of the season. The fact is this. I think the evidence is there. Pochettino did more with that squad with fewer resources. That's the fact. And Pochettino, now Jose has left the club in a worse condition than Pochettino did. And Pochettino did not have as many resources as Jose had. So miss me with all that nonsense about Jose being a winning manager. He's won a trophy everywhere he's gone. Well, he didn't win one at Tottenham. Get out of here.
Well, I did hear that part of the reason why Tottenham got rid of Jose Mourinho, and I'm not even talking about the training ground stuff.
Who?
If by some chance Tottenham wins next week, they would never be able to get rid of him.
True.
That's what I heard too.
True.
They're like, let's get rid of him now, just in case he does that special thing and wins next week. You know, because Tottenham, I don't even know the last time Tottenham won the trophy.
It's over 10 years.
I have that date marked in my head. It's 1955.
No, the league. That's the league. That's the league.
That's the league, yes. They won the trophy last in
My mom was not even born.
the year before Manchester United won the league in 60s.
Oh my God.
No, they won the trophy in
I think they won a league
2012.
cup. I think they won a
2012, they won a League Cup. Okay. Okay,
But like,
2012.
it's been nothing much since then.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Right.
65 years old, you haven't seen anything really.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they won a League Cup or something in the 60s. Like in that time, Derby won the Derby won the league. Nottingham Forest won the Champions League. Aston Villa won the Champions League. Chelsea won the Champions League.
That's why I have a bigger problem with Spurs being in the Super League than Arsenal. At least Arsenal, they've won 3 FA Cups in the last 4 seasons or something. Spurs should not be smelling. They should not be smelling the aroma of a Super League. They should not be smelling it at all. They've won
What's
nothing.
an embarrassment?
Arsenal also won several
How?
top fours too. They won several top.
Oh, they won
No,
some.
no,
They won several
Seven
top
round
fours.
days, right?
We got to give. That's a trophy, right?
Hey, it's a trophy.
I heard
It
they
is.
make their own trophies over there too.
And they won Emirates Cup as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Team Fly
Uh,
Emirates.
Well, these days, Arsenal has made it so easy for them to win. So you can't blame them.
Abio.
You can't blame them for
No.
always winning it. Arsenal made it so easy. It's so
It
easy
is
for them
Spurs.
to win. So easy.
Like, lads, it's Spurs. I always remember
I know.
that quote from Ferguson.
I know.
From Ferguson, they're
I
like,
know.
lads, Spurs. Like that. Imagine that kind of team talk. You just tell your players, lads,
It's
Spurs,
Spurs.
and just go and beat them. Just go and beat them.
Right.
They're
Think
useless.
about this, right? There's no football club I know that you keep saying that about, and they will. I mean, people have been saying so many bad things about West Ham. Look at how they finally buckled up. They look like I'm not lying to you. Spurs have a special issue. It's true.
Yeah.
Spurs. This is a Manchester United fan. I don't know who it is, but that's a Manchester United fan.
Trying to win a trophy or initial manager gra.
Honestly,
Man City is smashing them.
People
Man
say I
City
hate
can we now
Mourinho.
finally agree? Can we all agree that Jose Mourinho is a dead manager? Like, can we just in unison agree to that fact?
We need him in the
And-
league. We need him in the league.
Where
We
is
disagree
he
with
gonna
We need
go?
some free points.
I think he's done in management. Where is he gonna go?
I don't know who's gonna hire him, but he brings
No.
me joy. So
You'll hire him.
Who will hire him?
Look, we've been saying Jose
I'm just
Mourinho
saying he
was
brings me
dead years
joy.
ago.
He brings me joy.
Yeah.
The
Look,
entertainment
Arsenal will hire
of
him.
Jose alone is worth him being in the league.
Wait.
Come on, manager. Huh?
We have been saying he's a dead manager, but now we actually know he is one. Like, who's gonna hire? He's not getting a job in the Premier League.
Oh, I agree. I
No.
agree. I agree.
Maybe
Why do you act
I
like
believe-
owners don't surprise you anymore? Somebody's going to hire Jose
you know what?
Mourinho next year.
True. You're right.
Just watch this. Jose Mourinho has a great agent. I don't know what it is, but
Stan
Yeah,
Kroenke will be like, silent Stan will be like, wow.
how
Silent Stan will be like, wow.
can you be collecting 100 million in sacking fees?
Jose Mourinho is the richest person I know without a job.
Right.
This man ain't got no job.
This guy, remember he played this thing on he did it to Abramovich. Abramovich didn't want him to be hired by another English club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
True.
it's Charles.
Oh, it's
You don't want
Charles.
him to be hired by
I
another
figured it
club.
was him.
And then guess
Charles
what he did?
Booty,
He,
Predator,
he Charles Booty,
Mr.
yeah.
Predator.
Yeah. Those they come in there like this guy paid him for 18 months until he got a job out abroad. Full salary. Kept paying him.
Imagine.
Kept paying
And
him.
do you know, he sacked him the first time, and
Yes.
the allure was so much, he brought him back.
He brought him back to fire him again.
Sacked him again. Sacked him again. Oh my goodness.
Oh, but the sweetest part of this was before Jose got sacked last week. This guy gave an interview. I was very happy for that interview. I needed that interview, and I think Boba needed that interview. And why I say that was, for crying out loud, Jose Mourinho treated Boba like a dog.
Yeah.
I cannot remember many instances of a manager setting you up in public so he can feel good. But he did that. He set up, that guy was just too controversial. And in hindsight, when he went to Chelsea the second time, I have two Chelsea friends that don't speak to each other again because of Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, it's so divisive. It's so divisive.
I know some Manchester United fans that left Facebook that will never talk football again. Real Madrid, till today, Real Madrid are still struggling to unite Casillas, and the way they treated Casillas was because of Mourinho. He frustrated Casillas so much that Casillas felt, look, I love this club more than you. Let me leak stuff to the press. That's everywhere. The stories are coming. I'm betting you. The stories are coming.
Oh, they're already there. Athletic. Oh, the Athletic have already released one article with all the lowdown, with all the dirty, all the dirty is already there. The stories are going to be epic.
I need to subscribe to the Athletic. I feel like they have all the team.
Yeah, they do. Sports players are already talking. They already. Oh no, but the man is just something else. I don't know.
But
it's entertaining.
How you feel as the captain of Tottenham when the manager comes out and says, "Same coach, different players."
Exactly. Exactly.
Imagine how you feel. Imagine how you feel as even as Daniel Levy, right? Like, how can you come to my club and just say, "Oh, same coach, different players"? That I feel like Jose Mourinho, he thrives on the ability to make people feel bad. Like he enjoys preying on people's emotions and making them feel worthless and useless and small. I've never seen somebody who's such a sadist. He enjoys it.
Yeah. And it doesn't restrict it to other players. And do you remember what he did to that Chelsea doctor on the pitch?
Yes.
It doesn't. That's how he is to generally, not just to players. He's just that kind of person. He's a sadist. He's a sadist.
But he's
people will come out and defend
won
that.
more leagues than everyone in the league put together. Respect.
Respect,
Man.
He's entertaining, though. He's entertaining.
He's entertaining, but
he's entertaining when he's not in charge of your club.
Exactly.
When he's not in charge of your club.
I don't mind other people's clubs.
Hey, we're good. We have Klopp. Well, for now.
Listen, what do you guys think will happen to managers because I can tell Klopp is not down with this Super League nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you see him
He's
walking
already
away?
said it. He said his opinion has not changed.
Do you see him walking away?
No, it won't. It won't. But he won't. But I'm sure he's not happy that he was thrown to the wolves today.
He was.
You know the press they were waiting for him. The press were waiting for him, they wound him up, and that's why Bucci was saying the way Klopp reacted and started going in on Gary Neville, it was not good because he didn't need to go in on Gary Neville. Gary Neville too was condemning the league. So both of you are fighting on the same side. So you shouldn't be going in on Gary Neville. Both of you are fighting, but they wound him up so much. The press, they kept winding him. And it's because the owners threw him to the wolves, so he won't be happy that he's not happy with that.
And that's the whole sad part of this thing. These owners, they make these decisions, and once they're done with the meeting, they hop on their private jet, they fly to New York, right?
Exactly. They don't show up.
They don't show up
he's
for
out,
press
they're done.
conferences.
They're like gone.
They don't care. They don't care.
And clubs
They don't care.
and the rest of them are going to be the ones to deal with to deal with the media, to deal with the backlash, to deal with everything. It's just
Exactly.
It's such
They're
it's
cowards.
such a,
Gary Neville nailed it. They are cowards. They are
They're
cowards. They do
cowards.
these things and they never show up to be accountable for their actions. They never show up to
Exactly.
be accountable for their actions. Well, guys,
Yeah.
it's 1
Yes.
o'clock over here, so I'm going to be coming.
Yes.
I'm
It's 7
trying now.
p.m.
2 hours. 2
I
hours.
missed a few calls from my wife.
Don't get in trouble.
Don't get in
No,
trouble.
no. She knows who I am.
We'll deny it.
Yeah, guys,
Happy wife, happy life.
that's true,
Exactly.
brother. And then that's the funny thing. I promised her a jersey, personalized jersey. Now I'm supposed to be striking.
Tell her you give her a Houston Dynamo jersey or an Atlanta United jersey.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Don't-
Or a
don't-
Mexican club jersey or something.
yeah. Nope.
Yeah, but it was good to see you guys again. Quickly before we go, Bola, who's winning the League Cup?
The League Cup.
Mhm.
It should be City, but you know what? I want to see a little Spurs surprise. Let's go for Spurs. There's absolutely no rationale why I'm picking Spurs. I just
Well,
wanna see it.
there was no rationale why Chelsea won last weekend. So
Right.
So
I'm gonna go with Bola and yeah, I think I hear Ryan Mason is now in charge of Spurs, and the dude is 29 years old. That man is younger than me, right? But I feel like there's gonna be a crazy surprise, and those guys. If Harry Kane plays, I think Spurs is going to win. But otherwise, I'm gonna go for City.
Right.
okay, I see it as a City game to lose.
Of course. Yeah.
I see it as a City game to lose. If they don't win it, because everything is against Spurs right now. Spurs have a lot to, I don't even know how they're going to go into the game. But it might be that, in that storm,
Currently.
sometimes in the storm, people stand up and
Yep.
fight. So
Yep.
I would be surprised if they fight. But I'm also predicting.
I mean, look at how Arsenal beat Liverpool. I mean, was it Man City in the FA Cup final? Last season.
Yes, and how Chelsea just beat Man City.
And I was so.
I mean, Chelsea bossed them, by the way.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Bossed them.
yeah,
They bossed them.
they did. They did.
Yeah, one thing that needs to be said is how bad of a PR job. I don't think it's a bad PR job. I don't think there's a PR they can do. Last year, when they tried to push that project restart, the way people reacted to it might have made them just go on there and start waiting for the opportune moment, and this came. I think they had to push this out now before UEFA announced it. They wanted to preempt the UEFA announcement. So when they were calling them Woodwards and Co last week, and they're like, oh, okay. They're like, oh, thank you for letting us know. They rushed their plans. But yeah, it's been a bad because Woodward should be out giving press conferences, but they'll probably eat him up. It's not always job. And this whole weekend, these managers will be distracted by this. All of them will be giving interviews. Even Ryan Mason, the new manager, won't be talking about EFL.
Right.
They'll be talking about this Pep. This whole Pep will talk about this weekend. And I have a feeling that we'll be talking about this from now until it happens. I'm still praying it doesn't happen. I'm praying UEFA and FIFA can find a solution where everybody, if I don't know, everybody wants more money. I wish I can find this resolution with my bank when they just give me more interest or something.
I know, right?
How are you supposed to solve this? Because everybody wants more money. Everybody needs more money. The amount of money is limited.
Didn't the United stock prices go up too?
Yep.
Stock prices doesn't mean money is coming in
the
unless
news
they're
of
selling.
ESL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should sell it. I'll be glad if they sell. They should cash in.
Juventus stock prices went up. All the clubs that their stock prices go up. Yeah.
I wish they would cash in. I wish they would. The day the Glazers leave my club, maybe I don't know how to put it, but I will be like a kid.
It's going to be a good day. Let's just say that. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great day.
It just feels like they've put no thought into how they try to sell.
I think they have and this is an outside opinion that I just pulled out from thin air, and I don't know if I've not heard it anywhere else. I think there's some kind of method to the madness, right? They know, like, and that was the whole intent. They intended to shake the football world with this announcement. There was no intent to make this some kind of orderly type thing, make an announcement, make it up. No. They intended to rock they came to shake tables, and they have succeeded in doing that, right? And now they're going to force UEFA and FIFA and all these FAs onto the negotiating table, whereby they will reward clubs who have money but who are not doing well on the pitch, because that's what they want. They want some kind of special status because they're the ones with the money, and UEFA will have no choice but to give them more concessions.
That's
now,
right.
Even if it means giving them some kind of special status in the Champions League. That's probably what's going to happen from this. I think there's going to be a meeting in the next 48 hours or 72 hours with UEFA and stuff, and there might come an announcement where, okay, now we'll have some kind of permanent spot for these elite European clubs in some kind of European competition, which is what these clubs wanted to start with.
Arsenal and Tottenham too?
Yeah.
Let me read something that filtered in the past hour. Florentino Perez has been talking. Someone sent them to me. First, I read a David Beckham statement. It goes, "I'm someone who loves football. It has been my life for as long as I can remember. I loved it from when I was a young child as a fan, and I'm still a fan now. As a player now and an owner, I know that our sport is nothing without the fans. We need football to be for everyone. We need football to be fair, and we need competitions based on merit. Unless we protect the values, unless we protect these values, the game we love is in danger." Now,
David Beckham
Perez's statements will take 10 minutes to read. I will read the most important ones. He said, starting, Florentino Perez is the Super League president, in quotes, and the president of Real Madrid. We've lost 5 billion combined. Real Madrid alone lost 400 million euros. Many important clubs in Spain, Italy, and UK must find a solution to a terrible financial situation. When you have no more income apart from TV rights, the solution is to play more attractive games with fans that can watch them from all over the world. We concluded that if we play in the Super League instead of the Champions League, we would be able to alleviate what we have lost financially. Football needs to change and to be more attractive globally. The Champions League has lost the interest it had in 1950. Changes happen, and even at that time, FIFA and UEFA were against it. There are low quality games right now. A Barcelona Man UFC tie is more attractive than Man United facing an average team in the Champions League. We have fans everywhere in the world. That's where money is coming from. Money is for everyone. This is a pyramid. If the top clubs have money, they can generate income for everyone. Oh, okay. One of the reasons we're doing this is to save football, save it in general.
Now, wow.
We want to start as soon as possible. We want to talk to UEFA and FIFA, but they should not get angry. It's not a league for the rich. It's a league to save football based on solidarity. Then on UEFA banning clubs in the Champions League and Europa League this season, it won't happen. The law protects us. This is impossible. The contract of Super League is binding. Nobody can leave. We'll work all together. The clubs signed the contract last Saturday. Wow. And then the secretary, Anas Lagri, I don't know who that is, but the secretary of the Super League said, idea of a Super League is not new. The younger generations are less interested in football. Focus on the console or something else and only log in for the big games. But these games rarely happen. Our players will not be banned from the World Cup, I guarantee it. They can be 100% certain of it, Florentino Perez. Perez confirmed Manchester United and another club in the Super League will not be suspended by the Champions League and Europa League semi-finals. Then he now says something. This is the last thing he said. There is no transparency. I know the salary of LeBron James. I don't know the salary of the UEFA president. This man just wants to, he's just, trying to.
I'm not.
These are discussions they could have told you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
This is damage
This man
control in
literally
public.
said, want to make money
Mhm.
so that other people can spend.
Mhm.
Really? You think we're dumb?
Mhm.
You
It's
think,
hilarious how they're trying to sell trickle down economics. I see we don't know how it works in real life.
yeah. You know what's crazy? This man tried to sell us the idea that they will make money for the benefit of all the teams in their league. When the money they already make, they're not even using it for the benefit of their own club.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're already not using it for the benefit. The money Manchester United makes, Woodward and the Glazers are not using it for Manchester United. And you think they're going to use it for Charlton Athletic? No.
Nope.
Let
them finish paying the banks they owe first. Then they'll think about it's not happening. They're just making noise. Basically, what he's just telling you is that we're going to have a Super League, and because of our Super League, we'll strike a deal. We can create Super League 2, and the rest of you can play there and make money.
Yeah.
That's
disrespectful and arrogant. That's what that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, I will be scheduling another one for the League Cup final, and we'll see which of you will be available. We can't all get in, but most of us should be able to, because I don't know how our Sundays are. But we'll do the League Cup final and maybe do Saturday. So hopefully we'll see again this weekend. Don't worry too much about it. Change is life.
Yeah.
Gary Neville said these guys are caretakers. They will die and sell this sport. We'll die and leave this sport. This sport won't die. This world won't die. So I think we're just passengers in this world. So we should always learn that.
Yeah. I just know that I feel better now that I've been through some kind of therapy session. I definitely feel better letting this out with all the rage and all the anger in my heart. And I feel much better than I did 24 hours ago. So if for anything else, it was worth that.
Yes.
This has been good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Right.
It's a pleasure anytime. You guys are refreshing every time. And I learned a lot from you guys. Before I leave, let me plug in for my viewers, please. Remember to follow YouTube, Footy Fantasy. Twitter is Footy Fantasy. Footy 80 Fantasy on Twitter. And on Facebook, it's Footy Fantasy. If you are viewing, I'm sure you know where to find us, but please subscribe. Follow us so you know when it's coming. And time to really watch the real Safford team. I'm always joking about something. You don't even see them on TV. You don't even see them on TV, dude.
Yeah. Maybe Salford City will be our new
match. You're right. I will go and watch Salford City versus Brentford when Juventus Manchester United or Juventus and Real Madrid are playing Super League final. Let me not deceive myself. I cannot buy jersey. I can do all of that. I might not subscribe, but I'll follow someone to the bar and watch the game. Last. Let me not lie. I love football. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So I'll miss the next time the next Messi dribbles 10 people. I'll be hearing about it. No.
Let's see what the players do. Let's see what the players do.
Let's see what the players do.
That's right.
Let's see what the players do and let's see what the government does. So,
yeah. On this topic, we'll be back. I want to give it 2 weeks. Let more development come in. Chucky will come in because Chucky is saying he's getting more development. He's reading more about it. So we'll all come in and do it again. And that way we'll have more information and we'll see how it's going. We might be making noise about something that FIFA will kill. I hope so. Right. I pray so, but we'll see.
All I'm saying is make us rivals again.
Exactly.
Make us rivals again.
Well, I'm already looking at how do you put it? Super League East division, Liverpool, Man United, and maybe they'll put Real Madrid, And then on the other side, Chelsea and Arsenal.
We'll have NFC and AFC.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then all right, gentlemen. My pleasure being here.
All right, guys. Good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Bola. Thank you for coming, Jola.
All right.
Good one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.